Welcome to the law firm. I want to review some of the data and information regarding the 3M earplug cases that you'll be reviewing. Of course, you'll be reviewing the medical records for each of the veterans, and we'll be looking for a number of medical issues within the veterans' records. As a precursor to you doing your job, you should know a little bit about the 3M earplugs. Those earplugs were standard issue between 2003 and 2015. The problem with the earplug is that they were too short, and it let certain sounds and noises go through the plug that ordinarily should not go through the plug, thereby causing damage to these veterans. So when you look at these earplugs, you'll see that they're very short. They look very easy to use, but in fact there was a defect. And this defect was never recalled or noticed during the years 2003 to 2015. So there's a lawsuit pending in Florida. We represent about 11,000 military people that have various types of injuries. And so as you are looking at each individual client's medical records, I want you to be looking for a number of different injuries. This case is not only about hearing loss, which is the primary injury from the defect from the plugs, but it's also about hearing loss as it interrelates to PTSD, brain injuries, and other medical conditions that the veteran may have. And so we have set up a grid that you're going to follow, or a format that you're going to follow with regard to looking through each of the medical records and searching for the hearing loss, the amount of hearing loss, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, tinnitus, vertigo, headaches or migraines, vestibular dysfunction, hypercusis, and those particular injuries you're going to be sure that you pull out of each of the records. There'll be a process and procedure for you to not only identify those injuries or conditions, but you'll be pulling that particular page into a format that allows us to easily access the medical record that identifies that injury. So you're going to be seeing another technical PowerPoint on how to examine the record, image the record, and pull the record into our system so that we can easily obtain this information, whether it's on a single veteran's case or collectively looking at all of our cases. So your job in coming to the office here in Puerto Rico is going to be managed by some of the attorneys there in Puerto Rico. You will meet them, and they will be monitoring the progress of the review of the medical records. Your schedule, of course, is going to be set out by our Human Relations Department, and we're going to want to make sure that in reviewing these records we meet some deadlines, and we've got certain criteria that we've set out for each of you to achieve daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, so that my overall goal of having 11,000 veterans records reviewed is achieved. And you're going to see that particular deadline outlined for you on the beginning day of your work. And so it'll be very clear what our objectives are and what our goals are and what you should be achieving each day. So there will be a dashboard that we have within our computer database system where the managers with you in Puerto Rico will be reporting to me with regard to the progress of your work. I will be sampling particular veterans records, people that we represent, to see what you've pulled up, how you've pulled it up. I'll be auditing, spot auditing those records to ensure that we have a very concise and accurate pulling of information from their files, so that at some point in the future we can have accurate information about injuries and how those injuries affect that veteran's life, and oftentimes the people around them. I do want to caution you that many of the people that we represent, they have brain injuries, they have post-traumatic stress disorder, they have great difficulty hearing in one ear or both ears, And so your job is extremely important because these individuals rely on us to ensure accurate information so that at some point when I am dealing with 3M to negotiate a settlement with 3M, we have the best information available as quickly as possible on behalf of not only one client, but all the clients that we represent. You will be dealing with some new information. We have a database called Salesforce. Within Salesforce, we have various types of information we gather. That information will already be there on each veteran that we represent. But as you use this system, you'll be trained on the system, how to use the system, and that way you can do your job effectively and efficiently. I want to thank you for joining the law firm. You know, we have a big job ahead of us, and these veterans and their families rely on us to do a good job. Thank you very much. Welcome to the law firm. I look forward to meeting you all in person.